My name is Katherine Winter-Sellery, and I'm the founder of the Conscious Parenting Revolution. Thanks for joining me today for an important subject that many parents are struggling with. How much is too much gaming, too much social media, too much screen time in general? When does a fun pastime become unhealthy? I invited Cam Adair, the founder of Game Quitters and a former gaming addict, to share his story with you, and together we will explore what parents can do to better understand this behavior and when too much is unhealthy for your kids.
What is, what's an okay amount for a child to be on the screen or gaming a day? And what's not okay? Are there just some like hard and fast rules around the right amount, or is it really individual?
There's some general guidelines. Now, what I'm going to share is that the amount of time isn't a great general rule. So I can share some general figures, but what I would prefer parents to focus on that's much more effective is not how much time can they play or how much time do they need to stay under before it becomes a problem, and more, what are the conditions in someone's life that if those are being met, then it's highly unlikely that a problem will develop. So that's exercise, face-to-face interactions, family time, other hobbies and interests, things like reading or music or learning a language or like just other hobbies and interests. If they went to school and they came home and they met, the exercise, they met some family time, they met some time doing other activities like reading or something like that. If there's time left over in the day and they play some games, it's probably not going to be a big deal. Where it becomes a bigger deal is when they go to school and they come home and then they start gaming, and that's all they're doing the rest of the day, and that's all they're doing every day other than maybe their basic responsibilities. That's where it's creating more of the environment for a problem to develop, because gaming is becoming their life instead of it's remaining a part of their life. And I learned this from an author named Jordan Shapiro, who's also a dad. And he very much, has these habits instilled. And if there's time left over, then they can game. But if those habits are met, then just the quality of their life will be pretty solid. And those are going to be conditions that prevent problems. And so I think it's very important for parents to be thinking about it like that. Now, there are some, general guidelines of amount of time based on ages. And so I think if you're under 12 years old, less than 2 hours a day, ideally not every day. And that's recreational time. So that wouldn't count like school, Zoom, things like that. But also very important to note right now that currently a lot of students are doing remote learning. And so they're already on a computer or a device much of their day. And the more time they're spending on devices for things like classwork or school, the more time they need off their devices during recreational time. Because otherwise they're just on their devices all the time, and that's becoming the way they engage in their day, in their life, in their world. And it's very important that they're engaging with nature or engaging in other activities. So those are some general guidelines. If they're over 12 years old, 2 hours a day, a little bit more on the weekends, okay, for recreational time. But again, ideally, this isn't every day. And some families are finding a lot of success with like more strict rules during the week, during the school week, and then a bit more open time on the weekends. So those are some general things to think about.